What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded Lost Souls. Oh yeah, guys, so I've been spending some time off camera here trying to rearrange some things, trying to get some things going. You can see that we've added in quite a few more of these windmills. So the way that these things are spaced is we have the center where the windmill is, and we count out 4 blocks, and we put 1 block in between where the blade doesn't touch. Yeah, so from here over to here is 4 blocks. So it's like 5 including the center. Anyway, so we got the blank spot, then we count out 4 more, and then we put in a dynamo, right? And then the blade on there, count out 4 more, blank spot, etc. So we have a bunch of these things in here. They aren't connected together, but they're ready to go. Once we start getting power wires going, we can connect all these together, and we'll have a decent amount of power for our use. So I've been kind of AFKing and doing some things around here. You'll notice that I did move some of these machines around. Yeah, so I said I wanted to do this before because these machines were just out in the open. It just kind of felt weird, and we were kind of waiting on getting a bunch of hemp so we can make the hemp rope, so we can make the axles, and now we have quite a lot of hemp. So since we got this much, I've switched over to wheat, another growable crop. But yeah, this is where we are with this right now. So we have both our millstones over here and our absorption hopper on this side. So hopefully in the future, when I'm making more of the soul urns or whatever, the absorption hopper isn't picking that up and I can put things away as I want to. But yeah, if we go underneath here, let's pop out this. So we have the main axle going into that gearbox, which kind of like wraps down around here and goes over this way into a set of lower gearboxes down here. Yeah, so that way these are always powered, and then this one goes over here. These gearboxes are always powered, and what that'll allow us to do is send the power up to this other gearbox, which has a lever on it, so we can turn each individual machine on and off, which I think is a better way of doing it than what we were doing before. Yeah, that way we can just turn on specific machines if we want them on, or, you know, turn them all off. I don't really know a good way of getting the redstone down there, so we're doing it this way. So I can just flip the lever. Actually, I have another lever here which turns the entire system off. So yeah, you can hear all those gearboxes spinning up when I turn that one on. And now we can individually turn on each machine by a lever below, right? So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if this is the best way to do it. First time really using this mod. You know, I was almost thinking there might be a way we could do some wireless redstone in here. This has that same mod that we used in Project Ozone Light, where you can set down the wireless transmitter, link the 2 blocks and have a lever remotely. So maybe we could have a block up here where we could flip a lever or something, and then that would wirelessly turn on the wooden gearbox. I don't know. That's just some things I've been thinking about. We moved the hibachis in our cauldron and our bricks over here, and I moved the way down this way, so we still have access to turn these things on up here, and then another way to turn on the what is it called? The thing? The bellows? Maybe that was already on and I just turned it off. Maybe that's what happened. Flip that. You know what? Maybe I did not connect this properly. It seems like that's not spinning. Maybe... I don't know. That was working. Now it's not. I'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. We'll just need to get the power transfer up into the bottom of that thing. I can see that the power is going up there. This needs to be facing down. Oh, you know what the problem is? This lever is sending power to this thing, so this is not gonna work. Okay, well, I'll have to figure that one out. But anyway, that's where we are with this right now. I might have to move that back and do some weird stuff, I guess. That stinks. I thought that was working. Oh well. Well, I'll get it figured out, like I said. But yeah, so I've been getting all this done, and then also our ores that we had, all the stuff that we've sifted down here and we had in this chest. Yep, I've taken all except for the nickel, I guess, and the aluminum. I've taken all of those out and I've smelted them down, so we have plenty of usable ingots and metal for us to craft with in the future. We got 24 gold blocks, which is pretty good. 21 copper, 28 tin, lead, silver, yeah, all this stuff. So yeah, we've been just trying to get a lot of the I guess the normal stuff done, the things that should be done automated, but we just don't have those automated systems up and running just yet. But yeah, I've had to smelt down a lot more coal into coal coke for the creosote to make the treated planks to make the windmills. So I've been doing that, and then taking the coal coke out and sticking it down here. Another thing I'd like to do is get a way to start storing this creosote, because the way these coke ovens work, once it fills up internally with the creosote oil, once you smelt enough coal, I don't know how many it is, like 24, I think you get a half a bucket each time. Once this thing fills up, it stops doing anything, so we do need a way to get the fluid out of there and store that into a tank. So we might look at doing that here pretty soon. In fact, we should make ourselves, hello Mr. Pigman, we should make ourselves an iron drum, I think is what we're gonna do. Or, actually, what was the other thing we were looking at? The quantum tank? Is this doable? Can we make one of these? That is probably gonna be cheaper overall. We do need 3 obsidian. I don't remember if we had extra. Do we have extra? We do. So let's do it this way. Let's make ourselves one of these quantum tanks, which can hold essentially infinite fluid. I have buckets on me from the creosote that I was getting earlier. I think we're set, right? Quantum tank, this, cool, all right. And then we need to get ourselves one of these servos and a fluid pipe. I know we had some extra ones, fluid duct, okay. So these fluid ducts are supposed to not move extremely hot or cold liquids, and I don't think creosote is considered an extremely hot or cold liquid. I hope not anyway. So let's put this on the back here. I guess something like that, just kind of out of the way. We'll put the quantum tank here, and then we'll put the pipe on top, and then the servo extracting out there, ignored. All right, so there we go. Now we're filling up creosote into our quantum tank. This thing should keep running all the time. It goes pretty slow. And then whenever we need creosote oil, we'll have this available. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. The other thing that we could also do is take the coal coke and pipe that into our blast furnace down here. I don't know how necessary that's going to be. And then we can also have like a drum that's got coal that's piping into this. I guess we could pipe the creosote, or not the creosote, the coal coke into like another storage. Anyway, if we need mass quantities of that, we can definitely check that out. All right, guys, so I figured out the stupid mistake that I made. I had below this axle, I had another gearbox right here for some reason, and that was next to the lever, which prevented that gearbox from working. I removed the gearbox, I replaced it with an axle, so we just got 3 axles going up to our bellows here, and now everything is working correctly, and we can go down below. Oh, right here. We can go down below, and then we can turn the pumping action on and off as we want to. Yep. Anyway, that was just a simple fix. Let me turn that off completely. And then I put a ring of slabs around here. When I was coming up from down below, yeah, I'd come up and then I'd walk forward and it's like, oh no, we're going to be walking right into the fire. So yeah, I put out some blocks around there just to kind of prevent that from happening. So yeah, I also moved the nether portal. Since that thing's not really working, it's just kind of taking up space, and it's just a reminder of our derp. So I put the nether portal down this path here. This is the path that we use to get up to the nether ceiling, and it's just right here. Yep, I relit it. I used our last and final fire charge that we made to relight that thing. So now we got a big empty room. So I was kind of looking through the quest book thinking, what else should we be doing here? And then I got to thinking, you know, if that nether portal doesn't work, there's gotta be another way to get to the nether, or get out of the nether. So yeah, here on the very first tab, survival, I think I looked at this before and I saw portal home, and I was thinking this is just a teleport from like one location to another in the nether, but no. So what this is an overworld portal. Yeah, so this says now that you've got things going with your base, you will need to make a portal to get out of here. The old portal will not work for you, as we found out. Tip: the portal is in multi-block. You'll need a portal in the middle and 4 pedestals in the corners with water buckets on the pedestals. The portal takes crude oil in the main GUI. This can be pumped into the block as well. Okay, so we need to make the portal. We need to make 4 nether pedestals, right? And then we need to get crude oil. It says that it takes 2 buckets to activate. They recommend using 3. So in order to get crude oil, as far as I know, we're going to have to use immersive engineering. Yeah, we need to do like the core sample drill thing, and we need to use the pump. I forget what it's called. But anyway, those are multi-block structures. Those are going to require us to get into immersive tech, and that's going to require us to make light and heavy engineering blocks. So I think this is going to be our next path that we need to follow. Like, we've been kind of doing some things randomly because there's quests available for them, but I think for progression, we do need to go down this path. So let's look at a light engineering block. It says this is used in multi-block structures. So light engineering block. Light engineering block. This. Okay, so to make that, we get 2 of them. So it requires iron. It requires these iron mechanical components, which we can make cheaper on the engineer's workbench. And then it requires some copper. So let's start down this path. Another thing is our food situation. Yeah, I wanted to start getting some other foods going here. So I started making wheat, right? So wheat, we can turn directly into wheat flour. So wheat flour, we can combine with sugar, I do believe, to make donuts. Donuts, right? Do we have sugar here? We do. So yeah, we can take 1 flour. We don't have to cook it. 1 flour plus a sugar. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Hold on a second. Let's take a look at the uses for this. Let me click out of there. Uses for this. I thought I saw, maybe it was a different type of flour that I was looking at. Let's go take a look at wheat. The uses for wheat. So yeah, the uses for wheat says it turns directly into wheat flour, and I was looking at the uses for that, and I thought if we combine that directly with a sugar, we would make donut. I think I must have been looking at something wrong. Donut. Let me look at this. I was looking at this one. Oh, that's in the cauldron. Okay, so we put the wheat flour and sugar. Okay, yeah, my mistake. So we can do that. Let's go. Let's start on this path real quick before we run out of food. I kind of want to save these big boy meals. Like, these are, I think those were used to be called like large meals or feasts or something. Before we use our really, really good food, let's start looking at this. So we'll put like 2 in there and 2 in there, and we'll do this. Okay, so that is cooking up. Yeah, so we can make ourselves donuts, right? So that gives us 1 hunger hunch and half a saturation. Not really great. But if we look at the uses for that, we can add honey or sugar to the donut and make a powdered donut, which gives us a lot more food and a lot more saturation. So that's almost no work at all for this. We can also take that donut and add sugar and then some coloring to it, different dyes, and make a really good frosted donut. Look at all that saturation. That's really good. I feel like this is probably one of the best foods that we could make at this point. I don't know. But that does require a sugar pure food, right? But that's a really easy renewable food source. Like, we're already growing sugarcane. We already have a lot of it stocked up. We're easily growing more wheat in our garden cloche over here. Yeah, I think that's not bad. So let's eat one of these. We can see one of those. Okay, so eating 2 of those fills up our saturation all the way, and we're completely full without having to use like the food that we've gotten from the reward bags. I don't know. Maybe it's not the best, but for us, I think this is going to work rather well. Yeah, and we can always keep a lot of these on us, and it's not super expensive to make these. So I'll go ahead and cook up 4 more batches of those. We'll get some more sugar going, and then, yeah, we'll have some more food. Okay, so let's get going here on this whole situation. Light engineering block. So what we need to do is grab some iron. We have plenty of iron. I think we needed some copper as well. Let's grab some of that. We're gonna need our engineer's hammer because I do believe we need the plates, and we don't really have an automated way of making plates yet, so we'll do that. Let's get rid of the donut so I'm not getting confused on which item we're looking at here. All right, so we need 2 iron plates plus a copper to make 1 of those components. So we need 4 iron plates and 2 copper. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 plus this guy. There's our 4 plates, and we can bring it over here on the workbench. That plus 2 of those gives us 2 of these. Perfect. And I think we're good. We just need to shift click the plus right here to make these items. Okay, so that quest is now complete. Very easy. That's going to give us a loot chest for a reward. And then our next quest is the heavy engineering block. Now, I do believe this requires steel. Yeah, that's where the whole getting the creosote and getting the coal coke thing comes into play here. This block is used in advanced multi-block structures. So heavy engineering. This guy, oh, that requires pistons, steel, and steel mechanical components. Okay, so steel plate plus copper, same deal. Instead of iron, it's now steel. Okay, so we need 4 steel, and I think, actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, we got steel right here. So let's do 4 of those. And then we need 2 copper. There we go. There's the steel mechanical components. All right, so 4 more steel plus 2 pistons and an electrum. Okay, so electrum is not a thing that we have done just yet, but that's a really easy thing to do. We just need gold plus silver. And I know we got silver in here somewhere. There it is. Was it just 1 ingot? It is just 1 ingot. All right, so we should be able to melt those down in our smeltery, which will alloy into electrum. And then we can just cast out the ingots directly. Now, I had a little bit of iron in here. I was up at the mob farm previously, and I was getting some iron armor. Yeah, we don't really need to replace our armor. We got pretty good stuff at this point. But I was like, oh, you know what? Iron armor, I bet we can melt that down. And sure enough, you can melt that down in the smeltery. So I was melting that down, and I forgot about it, and I left it there. And I guess pigmen spawned in here and made a little bit of blood. So I'm almost thinking, if you wanted to make like a blood farm or something, you could set up these smelteries like on the nether roof. Just make them as big as possible, as wide as possible. And put 1 iron ingot in there and just, you know, go all the way up to the ceiling like what we're doing for the mob farm. Mobs would spawn in there and then they would just take damage. You'd probably want to make it so it's only 2 blocks tall so endermen don't spawn in there, but that could be a cool way of getting blood automatically if you need a lot of it for some reason. But anyway, there is our 2 electrum ingots, and those cast out quite quickly. That's not bad. And done. Cool. All right, so now that we have those things, we should be able to continue on here. Oh, you know what? Another thing. I was upstairs before, and I came down here, and right in the corner was a blazing juggernaut. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. I was able to take it down. It did hit me a few times, but like the amount of damage it did was very, very minimal. Like the amount of protection we have on our armor now, yeah, that's all we need to really deal with those guys in melee combat. I think it ended up taking like 2 or 3 hearts away from me. Not so bad. Anyway, so now that we got all of this stuff done, we should be ready to go here, except I don't have the steel on me. So there's 4 more steel ingots. And there we go, heavy engineering block, cool. So that should complete this quest here. And that's the last of this line. So let's pop open our 2 chests here. So we get living rock and living wood. That's nice. We haven't done anything with Britannia yet. That'll be a nice foot forward for when we get into it. And then we get arrow of harming, instant damage 3. Arrow of doom, kills in 60 seconds. I don't know if I've ever heard of these things before. It says it's from Minecraft, which makes me think that's vanilla, but I feel like Arrow of Doom is not vanilla. It says 7 seconds of doom, but kills in 60 seconds. So does that mean you have to like poke him with that with a bunch of different times? How does that work? I don't know. Anyway, I guess we'll put those away. We're not really using bows and arrows at all. So yeah, we got those done. So I guess the next thing we should do is look at the engineer's manual. Did we make one of those before? I feel like we did. Yeah, this thing. All right, so that is really tiny. Okay, so I turned my GUI scale down. Apparently, immersive engineering doesn't really work too well with the number 4 GUI scale, which I normally play on. So if we put it onto large, it seems like it works a little bit better here. Actually, let me go back in here. I think video settings 4. Every time I go back in here, it says 4 again. Game. Anyway, so this is what we got here. So this is under mineral deposits. So overview. Let's go to mineral deposits, second page. So yeah, this says we need to make the core sample drill. Now, previously when I played with immersive engineering, there was a way that you could tell if there was crude oil in the ground from immersive engineering, and then you could do like a pump and pump that out. But I guess that's not in this mod pack, or that was a separate mod or something that I used before, so I was a little confused on that. But anyway, core sample drill is the thing that will tell the system, like, if you were doing crude oil, if there was a way that you could find it, this would be what you'd do. But since it is not the case in this mod pack, crude oil can be found through JEI. So you can click on this, and this will tell you how to get it. So if we find oil shale, oil sand, both these from thermal foundation, or bitumen, yeah, from thermal foundation as well, you can get crude oil. So yeah. So we're gonna need a Magma Crucible apparently if we get this bitumen stuff, and that we'll need 4 per bucket. So we're gonna need a total of 12 of these things. These can be obtained apparently from the sieve. So if we use a diamond stiffened mesh plus soul sand, we have a 2% chance of getting one of those. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do a whole lot of soul sand through diamond stiffened meshes in order to get that. We can also do the heavy sieve, and that gives us a 2% chance at 7 of those. Anyway, so yeah, that's how we're gonna end up doing this. So we're gonna need a Magma Crucible and a lot of soul sand. The Magma Crucible is made with nether brick, machine frame, so we need a resonator with a block of iron to make the machine frame. That's actually not that bad. Redstone Conductance Coil, we saw how to make Electrum. We're gonna need a little bit of extra redstone, gold and redstone for that guy. And then these copper gears, which I haven't looked at the recipe for, and I assume it'll be quite easy. Yeah, we can pour that out. We just need to make a gear cast. Okay, is there another recipe for that? There's forestry, thermal foundation. Those are the only 2 recipes we have. So yeah, we'll have to make a gear cast and then pour copper into that. So that won't be that bad at all. So once we get the Magma Crucible and we get the crude oil, we are still going to need a way to transfer that into a bucket. So then we'll also need to get ourselves a fluid transposer, I do believe. So the Magma Crucible can push the fluid into the fluid transposer, and this thing can accept a bucket and take the internal fluid and fill up a bucket with it. So again, another machine frame. We're going to need redstone and gold and copper and glass. All right, so this is not so bad at all. This has a building requirement of 13. The Magma Crucible, I didn't even look. I'm sure it's the same. Let's take a look at this guy. That has a building requirement of 13 as well. Okay, so our next task is to build both of these machines and hook it up to the power that we have, and then we need to do a whole lot of sifting. I'm gonna get to work. We'll be back, guys. All right, guys, so I've been preparing some things around here, but before we get started, let's turn these off, because goodness. No, turn that off. I'm clicking this hopper is in the way. Yeah, I just got done milling down a bunch of sugar cane into sugar, so we got lots of that going. I was cooking up some more of these donuts just so we can have mass quantities of food. We don't have to worry about it for a while. But anyway, I got a lot of these things together. So this is the recipe for our Magma Crucible. This is for the fluid transposer. Everything that we can make so far, obviously these block of iron, we're gonna have to turn into the machine frames, right? And then we also have to make the gears. And then we have a pattern here for a resonator. So let's do this one first. We'll do the resonator. This, these, and that. Okay, so I was able to get one of these resonating redstone crystals just from breaking the redstone ore that we were given from our quests earlier. So yeah, that's pretty easy to do. And there is a resonator, so that should complete a quest just for doing that. All right, let's take a look at the quest and we'll claim that before I forget, because I have a tendency of doing things like that. And that is under this one, this one. Okay. So doing that unlocks Daemon Ingots, and we've already completed Daemon Ingots previously, so we'll claim that, we'll claim this. And I saw that this one is complete, and we never claimed that one, I guess. All right, so let's do that one as well. Vector plate is complete, and then I guess we will get another one for the Daemon Ingots here in a second. There it is. Okay, so we ended up getting 3 of those quests just from doing the resonator, already doing things that we've done before. So the resonator, this will allow us to take the machine, or I guess the block of iron, turn it into a machine frame. But before we can do that, we need to generate GP, the power that this thing uses. Now, I was kind of looking at all the different mills that we have here for GP. Normally what I do is I do like the solar panels, but since we're in the nether, I don't think that's going to work. Maybe if we go on the nether roof, it would. But I'm thinking fire mills would also be pretty good, or the lava mills, either of those. But in order to get those, we're still going to need stone burnt, which do require GP in order to be created. So I think we have to do the manual mill where we just right click it, it spins this thing, and gives us 15 GP for doing that. Yeah, it's a little bit of manual interaction, but I think that's going to work just fine. So to make a manual mill, we do need to get this redstone gear, which is 4 redstone torches around a plank. I just remembered I forgot a plank. I tried grabbing everything that we're going to need so I don't have to keep coming back down every few seconds, but yeah, I did forget that plank. All right, let's get back up here and we'll try and get this going real quickly. All right, so there is a 4 redstone, 4 sticks. That goes around a plank. There's our redstone gear. Now we are, in fact, going to need a resonating redstone crystal in order to make this thing. So to make those, we need 4 redstone plus an ender shard. And you get that with an ender pearl plus a glass cutter. And the glass cutter is made with 3 iron and a stick. All right, so there's that. There's this. That goes in there with 4 of these. There's a resonating redstone crystal. All right, and then we need 2 polished stone. Now, polished stone is made from stone brick. Or I guess maybe just stone. Yeah, I think that has to be stone brick that is put into the crafting grid again. So let's take, well, actually, let's take all of those. We'll turn those all into stone brick, and we'll just make 4 of those for the moment. All right, so there is all of that stuff, and there is a manual mill. Quest complete, basic GP. I don't even think I saw that there was a quest for that previously. Let's take a look at where we are for that particular quest. That was under tinkering? No, stuff and things, extra additions, this one. Okay, so basic GP, quest complete. To produce your GP, you're gonna have to do it manual. Yeah, okay, I didn't even read that quest before. I was just looking and I figured that that's what we're gonna have to do. Okay, so we got a bunch of loot chests in here. I gotta remember not to forget those. All right, so now that we have that done, we should be able to take polished stone, put that in here. You see it requires 8 GP in order to do this. And we just have to sit here and hold right click. Right click Simulator 2018 Extreme Edition. That's right, guys. So once we get up to 8 GP, it should create one of these things, right? All right, guys, so it looks like in order to make these machine frames, we need very, very little GP. So we can put the block of iron in here, just spin this thing once. It only requires like less than 1 GP in order to work. There it is. So machine frame, so we have these things going, and we are 1 step closer. So the next thing is to make gear molds. Quest complete machines. Cool. Yeah, whoa, lag. The next thing is we need to make ourselves a gear cast so we can melt down that copper and make the gears out of it. So I'm just gonna use some gold instead of doing the copper and aluminum brass thing. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and do it this way. It's just simpler in my opinion. So we can throw those in there, get this out of here, and I'll put it up into this cast chest up above. So we have that. Now we need to make ourselves a gear. Now it's looking like we can make ourselves a stone gear, which is really awesome. Like so, maybe not like so. Okay, well, I guess we might need regular stone then in order to do this. Regular stone is a thing that we have here that was smelting up some. All right, let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. And it does not. Okay, stone gear. What am I missing here? This requires, oh, it's cobblestone. I was looking at the chisel version of those blocks. I didn't mouse over it and it looked like regular stone. Whoops. Okay, well, there's a stone gear. Okay, so the stone gear we can put into the casting table, pour the 2 ingots of gold on, and make ourselves a gear mold. Okay, so we'll get that going. Now, all the copper that we have in here, these all need to be turned into gears, so I will just throw those into the smeltery. That is not what I wanted. Throw those into the smeltery, get those melting down, and then we can start making our gears. Once we have the gears made, I think we are pretty much good to go. So let's start popping open some of these loot chests. We get an experience pylon. That's cool. We get ourselves wood and sticks. Okay, very good. 2 heart containers and a med kit. All right, and finally we get ourselves pistons, droppers, and dispensers. All of those are pretty okay. They're not like super great, but they're okay. Did I not put coppers on the bottom? And I cannot pour this out. Now, hold on a second. Copper gear. Now we look at this. Casting molten copper into a gear cast makes a copper gear. This is a gear cast? Oh, now it's pouring out? Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. It wasn't pouring out, and now it is. Did I accidentally pour blood in there a little bit? No. Okay, well, we had to take the gear cast out and then put it back in, and then it works. I thought I'd read that recipe wrong, or maybe that was supposed to be a thing that was recipe tweaked out of there. I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad that it is working now. All right, so Enderman. Yeah, Enderman up in the mob farm, I guess. That was kind of freaking me out there for a second. Okay, so we need this, plus these two, plus one of those, and this. And then we should be able to make ourselves a Magma Crucible. That guy, this one, and then two of these gears. Magma Crucible. Okay, so there is one of the two items that we need. We just need to wait for this other gear to be casted out here, and then we can make ourselves a fluid transposer. There might be another way we could have done this without making the fluid transposer, I think. Oh no, this is the way that I do know that it works, so this is the way we're going with. Okay, so we need a bucket, 2 glass, the machine frame, and this redstone reception coil. So we'll do this, those guys, this one, and then these 2 gears. Perfect. Fluid transposer. All right, so we got 2 more quests complete for that. Yeah, thermal. Okay, so here we go. This section unlocked. Looks like RF tools unlocked too. Okay, so let's look at the machines. The machine frame is needed for crafting machines, obviously. So we'll claim that one. We got the transposer complete. Says the fluid transposer allows you to fill tanks and other blocks and items that can store fluids. Awesome. And then finally we get the Magma Crucible. The Magma Crucible is used to power... The Magma Crucible uses power to melt certain items. All right. So there is 3 more chests. Pop it. A satchel. We get experience pylon and solidified experience. And finally we get bread slices. All right. My inventory is quite full. Let me fix this. We'll be back. Well, one of the next steps is we need to get the bitumen stuff, and we're supposed to be getting it at a 2% chance, and I'm sifting through pretty much all of my soul sand here, and we've gotten 2 of them. I think we have another stack of soul sand on me, so it's not going to be that bad, but it looks like we are going to have to venture off into the nether to try and find more of this stuff in order to get more of the bitumen. So we do need a total of 12 of those pieces, and we have 3. Not really a good a good result this far. Practically 3 stacks of soul sand after the 36 more that I have in my inventory will have gone into getting these 4 pieces of bitumen. Well, 5. We're gonna be halfway there by the time this is done. That would be nice, but yeah, we are gonna have to go off and try and find like 3 more stacks of soul sand. Yeah, we got halfway there. Okay, so we ended up getting a bunch of nether quartz, some gas tiers, and 6 of the bitumen stuff. I'm gonna put this in here for now, even though no, that's not really where all that stuff should go permanently. Cool. All right, well, next thing is I need to go off and try and find a little bit of soul sand, so that's my next task. Oop, don't look at the Enderman. In my offhand, I definitely will keep this thing and sword ready to go, and we're off. All right, guys, so I ended up collecting like 7 more stacks of the soul sand. Yeah, over there where we went through the nether fortress before, and we were farming some stuff. Yeah, that's where I ended up going. Anyway, so we have our fluid transposers here. We have our bitumen stuff. And we have our Magma Crucible. So let's go and break some of these over here. We ended up with like 10 of these leadstone flux ducts, which is fine because there's 9 blocks of space between them. So we ended up with 1 remaining. So let's do Magma Crucible here. We'll do fluid transposer here. Let's change the settings on this. So we want it to output to this side. This one will receive from that side, and then hopefully we'll just have this thing push the fluid directly into a bucket right here. Yeah, that's what we're gonna need, I do believe. So we're also gonna need some more buckets. I think what we could do, we could get this thing going. Yeah, I ended up getting 1 extra here, so let's put that in here. Does that go pretty quickly? That's not bad. It is draining power though. Yeah. So this is probably gonna take a little bit of time to finish up, I would imagine. Let's see if we can get ourselves 3 buckets though, so we can get this thing going. I do believe we only have 2 buckets, and we still have to make the machine itself, but yeah, I definitely would like to get that stored somewhere. So we have 1 bucket. Thought we had another bucket somewhere. Maybe we've used it. Oh, we did use our 2nd bucket for making the fluid transposer, didn't we? Okay, well, another thing we could do, we can make ourselves a bucket cast. Bucket mold cast. What is it called? This. All right, so to make one of those, we need a stone bucket from Tinker's Compliment. So that's just cobblestone. That's really easy to do. And then we're going to need 2 gold. Okay, and then we're going to need all the iron in order to make the buckets. All right, so I think that should be pretty good here. What do we need? We need to do this. All right, so there's a stone bucket. We'll go make the cast. Up here. All right, so we want... Oh, we already have... Ah, Pigman must have died and left a nugget of gold in there. I was like, wait, we already have gold in here. How does that work? All right, well, we'll put this here and we'll start the process. But we need a little bit more than 1 nugget of gold on there in order for that to happen. Yeah, and then we can also get the iron smelting down and make a few buckets out of this. I think that's only 3 ingots per bucket doing it this way instead of like having to have the... Was it the iron plates and the string the other way? Anyway, so that's done. This will be melting down. We'll make our buckets. We will go ahead and take the bitumen stuff that we're getting, which is turning into crude oil. We'll put that into buckets. We're still going to need a few more buckets, though, because I do believe the quest said, or was it over here, that we need 4 buckets with water buckets on the pedestals, and there's 4 pedestals. So, yeah, we're going to need quite a few buckets. Guys, we're going to wrap it up here for today. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Next episode, we should get this portal completely set up, and then we should be able to get out of the nether. Is that going to take us to the overworld? Is it going to take us to another dimension? I don't know. But either way, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.